What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and since the majority of you voted on my most recent poll on which minifig showcase I should do first out of my final two that I have to do currently for either Cobra Kai or the Old Guard, you guys, or a majority of you guys voted for the Cobra Kai minifigs. Now, I have 8 figs here. There are a lot of main cast members and a lot of kind of secondary characters. There are a lot of characters that I could have designed based on the show, and I designed 8 that I felt were kind of major players in the show that I thought were worthy of having minifigs designed on them, and ones that I just kind of wanted to design. There are other ones that I could have designed, but I just didn't feel the motivation to do so. So yeah, let's get started with the Cobra Kai minifigs. Getting started with the Cobra Kai minifigures, we have the protagonist, in a way, of the show, which is rather amusing because, of course, in the original Karate Kid films, this guy was the kind of primary antagonist to our hero, and now in the Cobra Kai show we are seeing the roles swapped a little bit, where we have Johnny Lawrence taking on the role of protagonist. And most of these minifigures are very simple. They all just kind of wear casual outfits. There are not any crazy costumes or anything like that. Now for this fig, I just used the hair that I most recently used on John Walker in my Falcon minifig showcase, which is just the dark tan hair from the bank robbers from the Spider-Man Homecoming sets. The face is from either Steve Rogers, or I think it came on Steve Rogers, or maybe that's just a head that people have commonly used for Steve Rogers. I do know it came on Victor Crumb, because that's where I got it from. He does look a little bit like Steve Rogers, but I do think this face looks really good for Johnny Lawrence. The torso is from, I believe, a Harry Potter minifigure, but it also came on Ned Leeds from Spider-Man Far From Home, and that's where I got my copy of the torso. And then the legs are just some dark blue legs, but I added a kind of belt hip piece. I think it's from an ACU trooper from Jurassic Park, although I don't remember vividly. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Johnny Lawrence. A pretty simple minifig, but yet again, the guy's kind of a bum, so doesn't really have the most fancy outfits, if you get what I mean. Next up, we have the protagonist of the original Karate Kid films, all grown up in Cobra Kai, and that is Daniel LaRusso. Now, this fig is pretty simple once again. I used the hair from, I think it's from a Lego City minifig, just that black combed hair. I believe I used that as an example of what hairpiece to use for Zemo in my most recent Falcon minifig showcase. The head I used is from, I believe, an ACU trooper from Jurassic Park. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's from, and I think it looks pretty good for Daniel LaRusso, although maybe a bit too stern. The torso is from, I believe, Jacob Kowalski from the Fantastic Beasts minifig series, or the Harry Potter minifig series. Now, it does look a little bit heavy set, like it's printed to kind of emulate a belly, which is, I mean, Jacob Kowalski is kind of a heavy set character in Fantastic Beasts, and Daniel LaRusso is relatively fit for an older guy, but I think it still is the most accurate torso I had in my collection for Daniel LaRusso, at least in terms of kind of the costumes that he usually wears. I use these kind of light blue, or kind of, I guess, jean blue arms that I think you can get in a lot of figures, but I think I got them from like a Tina Goldstein figure or something like that. They're pretty common. I don't know what the exact name of the color is, but you guys can see what color it is, and it's to match the undershirt under the kind of suit that he's wearing, I guess. The hip piece is from, I believe, Owen from Jurassic Park, and then the legs, I think, are from Captain America, or they're from Newt Scamander with the printing erased, and I really like that for Daniel LaRusso. Next up, we have kind of the big bad of the show in a way, although he was kind of the big bad of the original films as well. He was always kind of behind the scenes, and that is John Crease. Now, the hairpiece that I used is actually a reuse of the hairpiece that I designed, or the custom hairpiece that I designed for Cobb Vanth from The Mandalorian from last year. I like the colors that I integrated, the gray and dark tan hair. I think it just looks pretty accurate for John Crease, and I just thought, why don't I just reuse the hairpiece, because I have a perfectly good design already going for Crease, just from Cobb Vanth from The Mandalorian. The head is actually from Grip Hook from the Harry Potter minifig series. I've seen people using the Magneto head from the old X-Men sets, and I think that actually looks pretty good, but I don't have that, and I think that this also looks pretty good for John Crease. If you ignore kind of the little lines by the eyes, it has a lot of wrinkles, and I think it just looks really accurate for John Crease, and I like the way it looks. It's a little bit over the top, but I think it works rather well. The torso is, I believe, from Han Solo. I used these kind of white short-sleeved arms, and I used these kind of gray pants for no particular reason. I just wanted to differentiate him from the other figures because so many of the figures in this showcase have jeans. So I just gave him some gray pants with, I believe, an ACU Trooper hip piece that I also used on Kanan Jarrus from my recent Star Wars showcase. And I think that's pretty much it for John Crease. Next up, we have the wife of Daniel LaRusso. I believe Amanda LaRusso is her name. And the hairpiece that I used is also from, I believe, Hermione from the recent Harry Potter minifig series. The face is from Tauriel from the Hobbit sets. The torso and legs are from Wong from the Avengers Infinity War sets, I believe. And then I used dark red arms rather than dark blue from the original Wong figure, and then I just gave her kind of a purse because I think that's rather fitting. And you may be like, this looks weird for Amanda, and I don't know, I just feel like it works rather well. She has a lot of kind of fancy dresses and outfits throughout the show, and I think this looks pretty good for something that she might be wearing in Cobra Kai. I don't know, let me know what you think. I mean, the printing does look a little bit too kind of stylized and monk-ish for Amanda, because it is designed for kind of a sorcerer type character, but I do think it works rather well. Moving on from the adult characters, we have the children characters, so we have 4 adults and 4 children. So we have an evenly balanced cast of minifigs right here. First up, we have Robbie Keane, the son of Johnny Lawrence. Now, the hair that I used is actually the Cole hairpiece from Ninjago, but painted brown. And there isn't I don't think there's any hairpiece in LEGO that perfectly captures his hair from the first 2 seasons, because he has a very unique kind of longish hairstyle. But if you want to go for the hair from Season 3, because he does go into juvenile detention in Season 3, for reasons I won't disclose in case you haven't seen it and don't want to get spoiled, I just used this dark brown hair from, I believe, Steve Trevor or Peter Parker. The face is the same face I recently used on Cal Kestis. It's come on many Imperial and Rebel officers from Star Wars. The torso is from one of the many Harry Potter minifigs from recent years, and the legs are, I believe, from Lloyd from the Lego Ninjago movie. And that's pretty much it for Robbie. Next up, we have Miguel Diaz, I guess kind of the child or kid protagonist of the show, because Johnny Lawrence is our adult protagonist, and I guess he is kind of our young protagonist in a way. He's kind of the protege of Johnny in the show. The hair I used is from Tony Stark and many other minifigures. Now, a hairpiece that I would recommend above this one is kind of I'm trying to think of what minifigures it's come on. I believe it came on Dareth from the Lego Ninjago sets, but in a dark brown color. That hairpiece in black I think would work perfect for Miguel, but I don't have it, so I just used kind of this black Tony Stark hairpiece. The face is from Ned from Spider-Man Far From Home, I believe. And you may notice the torso is different from the one in the thumbnail of this video, but, you know, I think this looks similar to something else that he would wear in the show. The torso in the thumbnail, I moved on and used that for Grief Karga from my recent Star Wars showcase, so I just used this torso from, I believe, countless city sets. I don't remember where it's from exactly, but I think it looks pretty good for something that Miguel would wear from the show. And then the legs are just dark blue legs, but with the hip piece from, I believe, the old Han Solo minifigs from Star Wars. And I think that looks pretty good for Miguel. Moving on to our second to last minifig for the Cobra Kai showcase, I have Samantha LaRusso, the daughter of Amanda and Daniel. Now, this fig kind of looks like Hermione, and that would be a valid assessment because this figure is made up of a lot of different Hermione parts. The hairpiece is from, I believe, the younger Hermione, so like the Hermione figure is based on the first 2 books or films, I believe. That's where this hairpiece is from. The face is from the most recent Harry Potter minifigure series. The torso is from Hermione from the Lego Dimensions sets. and the legs are from Luna Lovegood from the most recent Harry Potter minifigure series, I believe, and then I just gave her like a phone piece. So it's made up of 3 different Hermione minifigures and a Luna Lovegood minifigure, so it's basically compiled of a bunch of Harry Potter minifigs, but I do think it gives the desired effect for something that Samantha LaRusso would wear from Cobra Kai. Finally, we have the bullied who became the bully, and then ultimately joined forces with Miyagi-Do at the end of the show, and ended up redeeming himself in a way depending on what type of outlook you have on this character's arc. We have Hawk now, or I guess his real name is Eli Muskowitz. I think that's how you pronounce it. But this figure I actually really like. I used the Mohawk piece. Now, I know that he has many different colors for his Mohawk in the show. He has like red and blue and black, I think, or like red with black accents. But the only Mohawk piece that I have that's kind of accurate is this dark blue Mohawk piece from Mime, from the Lego Batman minifig series, I believe. And he does have kind of black and blue Mohawks in the show, so I think it's accurate enough. The face is from young Draco Malfoy. I kind of like the way that looks. It doesn't really have kind of the... I believe he kind of has a stitched lip in the show because he had some kind of disability when he was younger, and he gets bullied for that in the first season of the show. But, you know, kind of the little smirk there and just kind of the face printing, I think, does capture Eli rather well from the show, or Hawk rather well from the show. The torso is from either Bruce Banner or, I believe, Maria Hill, I think it also came on, and probably some other figures that I'm forgetting. The arms are from the Gamer Kid, I think, from one of those old minifig series. I can't remember all the titles or the numbers of the series. And the legs are from Owen from Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, and I think that's pretty much it for Hawk. Now, with that said, that's pretty much it for the Cobra Kai minifigures. Now, I know there are some that I'm missing that are kind of, or I know I'm missing some characters that are kind of major in the later seasons of the show, such as Tori and, I'm trying to think of some other characters that I may be missing. I guess Miguel's mother and, Dimitri as well, and some other characters from the show that are relatively major, but these are just the ones that I wanted to design and the ones that I felt I could make good designs for, and I think most of these look pretty good. You guys please let me know. I know this is kind of a weird type of video because I haven't really done any videos in the past on Cobra Kai, but my friend got me into it, and I think it's actually a pretty solid and entertaining show, and I wanted to make some minifigs based on it. If you follow the Hobbricks Instagram account, you would have seen these minifigs months ago, but I wanted to kind of show you them on the YouTube channel to those of you who maybe don't have Instagram or don't follow me on Instagram. I thought I might as well show you what I did for the Cobra Kai characters in Lego on the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. So you guys please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below on these minifigures and on the video as well. And of course, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye. No mercy.